Hey guys, welcome to Jump Button Gamer Podcast. I'm Mike, and I'm joined by Kosta. We're your hosts. So on this console war segment, this is a segment where we're going to talk about the upcoming consoles. I mean, because PS5 just got revealed not too long ago. I will admit, when I first saw the console design, I said, that looks like a router or a modem. It looked like a modem. I said, wow, that really looks like a modem. I really hope that they have multiple color options. Sorry, my dog entered the room. The look of it, I've heard this opinion from others. To me, it's like, I just want the thing that'll play the games. So sure. I was really excited to hear like I've heard Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Forbidden West is going to have no loading screens, or next to no loading screens.
Virtually no, yeah. I think
right, virtually no, yeah.
Screen,
so like stuff like that has me thrilled.
If anything, with Sony, like the look of the console, I mean, it's definitely striking just because of how far it deviates from like this traditional like black box. Because at first, I don't mind the look of the X. Like, I don't mind them continuing the black box look and it being more of like a mini computer tower. Because really, that's what this generation is gearing towards. They're trying to pack in like a high-end gaming PC, or maybe like some people probably say like a mid at this point with the technology that's available, like a mid-tier gaming PC into a console form factor, which is very difficult, because you have things like overheating and whatnot to worry about. But I think it's also nice. The one thing that I think I'll always like about just a black box is that it'll just, no matter where it'll just fit in with wherever you put it, and I guess it's not like the biggest deal for me, but I know that, ultimately like it I know wherever I put it, it won't, I don't want to say that the PS5 would be an eyesore. Like I definitely think that eventually they'll release other versions of it that will have different color schemes.
I've already seen like fan-made designs of like
a
PS5 like Miles Morales version where it had the spider on the side and stuff like that. I'm like, yes, do that. Take advantage of what you have here. I'm excited for the PS5. Whether or not it'll be like actually better than the Xbox Series X, that's always just a matter of people's personal opinions.
Right.
At the end of the day, both systems are probably going to run games really well. The graphics for both consoles are probably going to be great.
Well, I will say though about the Xbox, I know that, I mean, as far as power goes, and see, I'm not the most in tune person to understanding, teraflops and things like that, but I know the Xbox Series X, like the numbers, like it's a couple teraflops more powerful than the PS5, but they're basically the same because at this point, like I feel like with this generation, we are at the point now where it's like diminishing returns, right? Because we're right now, like the big thing for this generation of consoles isn't going to be like isn't going to be the graphics. I think like the graphics, because even with this generation, we have seen some really great looking games. And so I think what's going to matter most, like this upcoming generation, let's talk about the lack of load screens. That's going to be the big thing. All games running at like 60 frames per second. So having those, nice and maybe even above. You might have some that could push beyond. And obviously like 4K gaming or whatever. I don't necessarily know if certain games will be like 4K 60 frames per second.
Right.
Me personally, because like the Xbox Series X has a good bit of power in it. And it gives you the like a lot of games that have updated with certain compatibilities with the Series X. They give you the option: do you want to play for graphics, or you want to play for performance? And I will always take performance over graphics. I would much rather play in 1080p 60 frames per second than 4K with a variable frame rate that, you know, can sometimes even struggle with 30 frames per second, you know. And like Borderlands 3, which is a game I'm currently playing a lot of, is one of those games where I play it in performance mode. And the other thing I want to mention, which a lot of people know about, is the smart delivery system for Series X, which I think is such a neat feature.
Absolutely.
You know, being able to, you know, especially this is also really great for anybody who is not like an early adopter of a new system, which most people aren't. Like most people tend to wait. Like they wait for a game that interests them, or they wait to see if the consoles themselves are actually worth the initial price tag, you know.
Will they break down within the first few months of buying?
Right, exactly.
It's also a big concern.
Right. I mean, you want to avoid like that red ring of death scenario where like, you know, sort of thing. So
I was a victim of a red ring of death at one point.
Sure, yeah, as was I, you know, and but I remember though, like, but it's really great. So anybody who, because for the first year and a half of this new generation coming up, a lot of the new games that are going to come out are going to be on PS4 and Xbox One, along with PS5 and Series X. You know, so and so if you're someone who plays currently on Xbox One, and you purchase a game with smart delivery, then whenever you decide you're ready to upgrade to Series X, you carry that game over with all the graphical and performance upgrades along with your game progress.
Yeah.
You know, so that's like a really neat, and it's at no cost. So you get all of that, you know, just, you know, for free. And I think that's a really great, really neat feacher. Obviously it's developer dependent, you know, obviously, you know, all of Microsoft's first party games on their exclusive titles will have that feature, you know, but I know some of the bigger developers like EA and Ubisoft have games coming out that will support that feature. So hopefully as many developers as possible, like a Cyberpunk, another one that's come out and said that they'll have they'll support smart delivery, and I think then offer like the Series X upgrades, or the graphic and performance upgrades, like sometime in 2021. But I mean, that's I think that's probably, and then I'm sure there's more for them to reveal. But I think smart delivery is probably the most, probably one of the most consumer friendly features I've heard in a long time. And I know Microsoft has their, like they did like a sort of like a games reveal thing back at the beginning of this month, or back in May. And I mean, it was okay. It was a lot of third party stuff. There were a couple of games that stood out, but nothing exciting. And there wasn't a lot of gameplay shown either, and that was sort of a big thing.
That was definitely a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, because they even used the word gameplay several times when they were marketing the stream, and there was just like next to no gameplay at all.
And that was disappointing too, because I was interested if they were going to show Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay, for example, but then there was no gameplay. So
yeah, no, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But I'm thinking Microsoft has heard the, you know, fans loud and clear, and July is supposed to be all about their exclusive titles coming out. So I'm like, that'll obviously set the tone, you know, because Sony had a pretty good show.
Yeah. Now it's Microsoft's turn to respond.
Right. I mean, like I said, the first thing that they showed wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was kind of underwhelming. But you know, Microsoft needs to show that they are committed to putting quality exclusive titles on their console. Because
absolutely.
You know, because otherwise they're just going to end up getting slaughtered like they did this past generation.